nasty. It's 2-0 Revs.
That is a golazo. Incredible from Carlos Gil. The little magician, nutmeg Sosa, drives down the midfield and hits everybody with a no-look pass down the seam right to Giacomo Brioni, who's running in on goal, 1v1 with Brad Guzan, dribbles around him, opens his hips up to sell that far post shot, and then what composure, because he didn't rush it either with his right foot. I thought, oh God, he's going to allow Atlanta United to recover and clear it off the line. But patience, he took a couple extra touches and then just scoops it over the defender as he slides into the goal. But this is just first class from Carlos Gil. The pass in between the defenders to Giacomo Brioni. And Giacomo, he looked like he has 20 goals this season, the way he did not rush and panic in that situation.
That's the guy I was talking about at the beginning of the show, Charlie. That's the composed guy who's on the books at Juventus, international footballer, designated player. 5th goal of the year for Brioni, assist number 10 for the captain, Carlos Gil, who showed why he is back in the MVP talks again. Revs up 2-0, and it's just the 10th minute of this game.
There's not too many players in the league who can do exactly what Carlos Gil just did there. The movement, picking up the second ball, the nutmeg on Sosa, drives forward, and then that pass, inch perfect. The timing, the weight of that pass, everything about it, that is world class. That is an absolute world class play from Carlos Gil.
And the Revs win it back. Brioni for Bo down the left wing. The Revs smelled blood, and they're on the attack again. Gustavo angles it back for Gil, overlapping his by. That's where Carlos goes with it. At the end line, his cross is headed behind. Corner kick for the Revs. They're first, but they are coming in waves right now. You talk about not many players who could compete with Carlos coming in. Gil was 4th in the league, tied for 4th in key passes. Of course, he's missed a couple of games. He had the suspension last game. Almada is 2nd. Goal-creating actions, Almada 1st, Gil 3rd. And they're both, in terms of a chance creation, in the top 3. Now it goes back to Bo. He stings a shot that's hunted down and blocked by Sadic. The Revs get it back. Gil going at Lennon on the right side. Good ball in. Guzan claims in traffic and sprints out to try to start a counterattack. That's a great out ball. Finding Almada. Spalding's back. This is trouble potentially. Almada knifes inside on the dribble. Rides the challenge from Spalding and lays it on. The attack is still on. Almada gets it at the edge of the box again. Buys back. Here they come. Oh, Miguel Berry just dribbled into a corner, and the Revs win it back.
Miguel Berry doesn't have the feet to play in those tight spaces. It's got to be open. We saw the 3rd goal he scored in that last matchup between Atlanta United and the Revs in Atlanta. An absolute golazo. Volley from distance, but he needs space or service, not the player who's going to dribble you in tight spaces in the box.
Here they come again, though. Almada. He uncorks a shot that's saved by Petrovic. He didn't have to stretch far. That was never going to beat him, but it will register as a save, and it
Tosh with it. Right-footed ball to the far sideline to Amadou Dia. Dia brings it down, plays it into the middle to Niall McCabe, right between the two center backs. McCabe, a long ball down the near sideline. Manny Perez, full trot down the near sideline. He's onto the ball deep near the corner flag. Tried to play it in to Ray Serrano, who was on that inside right channel, but those two just couldn't link up. The pass a few yards wide of Serrano. And Pittsburgh takes over, but they turn it over. Pass intended for Rovira from Dan Griffin in midfield. It's out for a throw to Louisville on the far side, the Louisville left, about 20 yards into the Louisville attacking half.
Beautiful ball there from McCabe, though, a cross-field pass to find Manny Perez. Unfortunate, though, that Perez and Serrano haven't been able to really get the connection that they've needed in this half. There's been a few times where they've turned the ball over early. It is early on. They're beginning to get that connection back. I think it'll come with as the game goes on, but I already like what we're seeing down this right side.
Mushagalusa, ball into the box, and it's right at the goalkeeper, Zamudio, who palms it down with both hands and then catches it on the bounce. It was Mushagalusa on the left side for Louisville City, just outside of the penalty area, tried to whip in a ball, I believe with his left foot there, and hit it with pace, but right at the near post where the goalkeeper had it well read and had it covered, and Zamudio will punt away here for Pittsburgh.
It's the right idea to try to play that ball into Lancaster, who is making the run. He just doesn't get his hips around it enough in order to get the proper spin on the ball and curve on the ball to find Lancaster.
Mushagalusa outside of the right foot ball, looking for Ray Serrano, making a run down the middle, but those two can't connect. It's picked up by Blackstock, the left back for Pittsburgh, and he touches it back to Zamudio, the goalkeeper, who wears number 77. Again, Jamali Waite, the normal goalkeeper, away on international duty with Jamaica, where he played once in the Gold Cup already. Zamudio, a long ball forward into the Louisville half, where the boys in purple take over. It's with Amadou Dia right now in the defensive half on the far side, the left. Mertz up there defending. Dia runs right past him, though, but can't get past Rovira, who sticks out a leg and plays the ball out wide on the far sideline, past the far sideline for a Louisville City throw. It'll come in their defensive half, actually right at the midfield stripe. Dia takes it, throws it down on the ground backwards to Wes Sharpie, and he goes back to Zimla, the goalkeeper who's playing out of his box right now. He played 7 minutes so far. No chances yet for either team. It's 0-0. Sharpie, a long ball down the far sideline towards Mushagalusa, headed out of play by Ordonez for Pittsburgh. A throw to Louisville on the far side, the left, in the Louisville attacking half.
So as of right now, the formation that Pittsburgh is playing is allowing for a lot of time on the ball for Manny Perez and Amadou Dia. The next step for Lou City is when those two are on the ball, how can the players up top make some runs, have a little bit more movement to create those pockets and those channels for them to be able to play through so they can get in behind instead of just moving it along the back line.
Louisville moving from left to right from their perspective. They go from the left side into the middle to McCabe. He swings it wide right to Perez. Now it's back to McCabe. He's in the center circle. To the left of it is Sharpie. Touches it across midfield into the attacking half. Wide left on the far sideline with his heels on it is Mushagalusa. Two defenders around him. Mushagalusa tries to dribble through, and he can't do it. Rovira takes it away for Pittsburgh. Into the middle here to Ibarra. Tried to clip it to the far sideline to Mertz. Back into the middle to Ibarra. Drifting toward that far sideline. Back to Rovira. He clips it forward to the center forward. Dikwu brings it down. Veering into the center circle. He plays it wide left to Blackstock. And Pittsburgh in the attacking half here. Blackstock 20 yards past midfield. Into the middle to Griffin. Blackstock continues his run down the near sideline. It's back to him now. Near the corner flag, just to the left of the Louisville box. Blackstock trying to get to the end line against Ray Serrano. He does. His left-footed cross, though, he mishit it. It's over the goal and not threatening whatsoever. It's out for a Louisville City goal kick. But that was about the first moment, Casey, where Pittsburgh was able to get into the attacking final third.
That's the first time they've been able to reach that part of the field, but it was really good, patient defending from Serrano. He doesn't dive in. He just forces Blackstock to continue going down the sideline. And because Lou City was able to get set in their defensive shape so well, it forced Pittsburgh to have to go around the outside. That's one thing I talked about pregame was the importance of being set in the shape and forcing that ball outside because it's going to be able to use the sideline and the inline as an extra defender.
Louisville City trying to build out of the back here. Pittsburgh pressing forward. Composure in the box, though, from Tosh. Wide to the left side to Sharpie. Still he's composed. Far outside of the box on the left side is Dia. Swings it into the middle. In the D is Niall McCabe, and Pittsburgh finally backs off after trying to turn Louisville City over as they build the back from the goal kick here. McCabe to the left center back. Sharpie brings the ball forward. Mertz on his right hip. Drops it off backward to Dia. Dia plays it back to Zimla, the Louisville goalkeeper, standing at the top of his box, just to the left of the D, with no one coming at him, pressing for Pittsburgh. He gets rid of the ball to Sharpie. Wide left now. It goes to Dia. Dia, a ball in the air down the far sideline. Mushagalusa giving chase. It's a race between him and Ordonez, and neither of them can catch up to it. shoulder-to-shoulder challenge between the two. Good physical play, and it's past the end line out for a Pittsburgh Riverhound goal kick.
I like the idea to go direct there. Just have to take a little bit off that type of service to allow your teammate to get on the end of it. Mushagalusa does well to push and try to get on the end of it there, but it was just a little bit too far ahead of him.
You talked about the formation a little bit for Pittsburgh, Casey, as we await this goal kick from Zamudio. It is a back five tonight for Pittsburgh when they're defending. 3 center backs with 2 wing backs to either side. And then 3 midfielders in front of them are also really sitting back deep. So when Pittsburgh's defending, they've got a block of about 8 players defending that back line for the Riverhounds tonight. Blackstock with it forward for Pittsburgh. He gives it away to Elijah Winder. Touches it back to Serrano. Now back to Winder. And Louisville comes out of their defensive half looking to go forward. But Pittsburgh dropping back defensively, maintaining their shape, and Louisville will have possession in their defensive half.
Well, and that's where Louisville City's going to have to see if they can catch them on a counterattack or see if they can find those pockets of space, and that comes from the movement from the players. A lot of times players just kind of stand and wait, but when the team has a really solid defensive shape, you have to constantly be moving off the ball because that forces the defense to have to sit there and communicate where the runners are.
We've played 11 minutes in this game. No shots so far for either team. It's been a little bit of a plodding performance for both, particularly Louisville City, who's had more of the possession, about 60% so far. Still with Louisville City along their back line. They haven't moved past midfield in the last couple of moments. McCabe playing between the center backs, plays it to the right center back, Tosh. Wide right to Carlos Mogel, who's dropped into a position. He tried to clip it over the top first time with his left foot. Serrano giving chase, but Osumanu had him beat, and Osumanu watches it roll past the near sideline for Pittsburgh throw-in. On the near side, their left, about 20 yards shy of midfield in their defensive half.
And that's really good defense there from Pittsburgh. The front players applying pressure to that back line and forcing the back line to have to play quicker than what Lou City wants to, and that also leads to the turnover. So really good defensive shape there from Pittsburgh.
Throw comes in from Pittsburgh, and Albert Dikwa, the center forward, came all the way back to the back line to get a touch of the ball. And he sends it back to the goalkeeper, Zamudio. To the far side, the right for Pittsburgh is Rovira. Into the middle to Griffin. Now backward to Ordonez, the right of the 3 center backs. Long ball down the middle looking for Dikwa. He's beaten in the air by Tosh. His header forward to Lancaster. He chests it down, goes down, wants a foul. No foul called. They were looking for the foul there against the center back, Hogan, but no foul given.
It's the right decision. It's not a foul. Lancaster backed into him, initiated the contact, so a great no call there from the referee.
Ball went back to the goalkeeper, Zamudio, and he just cleared it long for Pittsburgh. Louisville takes over once again in their defensive half. On the left side is McCabe. Drops it off back to Sharpie, but he was fouled as he did so. Just checked from behind, I believe, by Danny Rovira for Pittsburgh. It'll be a fifth-third free kick to Louisville City in their defensive half, about 8 yards infield from the far sideline to the left. On the ground from that fifth-third free kick from Sharpie to Tosh, to Zimla, back to Tosh, now Sharpie. Sharpie touches the ball forward, comes down the middle, plays it wide left to Dia, crosses into the attacking half. Dia touching the ball with his preferred left foot. Still with it, Dia. Inside left is Winder. Backwards on the inside left is Niall McCabe. Dribbles around Ibarra, touches it to Winder. Winder, a little bit of a loose touch, but able to get through traffic. Plays it to Tosh. Tosh touches it back to Winder in the center circle. Back to Tosh in the defensive half. Tosh across to Sharpie. Sharpie touches it towards the midfield stripe, picks up his head, clips it over the top for Mushagalusa. Flag stays down. Mushagalusa outside of the box. Defended by Rovira. Right-footed cross. Here it comes in the air over the head of Ray Serrano. Blackstock a header out. May it fall to Elijah Winder? No, it doesn't. Samuel Etu picks it up for Pittsburgh. Tries to dribble out of trouble. Knocked off of his feet. McCabe had a header. It's cleared away by Pittsburgh. Picked up in the center circle by Sharpie. Back to Tosh, and Louisville continues this possession.
Really good work there, though, from Mushagalusa to get that ball in a little bit too high, though, for Ray Serrano.
Perez had it in the attacking half, played it wide right to Serrano, and Serrano just couldn't keep it in play. It's out for a Pittsburgh throw on the near side, the left, in their defensive half, under some glare here as the sun begins to set in Louisville, closing in on actually just 8:20 right now. The shadows playing a factor right now at Lynn Family Stadium. Throw comes in from Pittsburgh. Louisville wins possession. Mushagalusa had on the left, knocked off of his feet, picked up by McCabe in the middle. McCabe forward inside, right to Ray Serrano. Top of the box, Lancaster. Falls back to Elijah Winder, has a hit. It's blocked on its way through, and Etu clears away for Pittsburgh after it was blocked by Hogan. Ball fell kindly there to Elijah Winder. Tried to hit it first time on a little half volley. Made good contact, but right into a defender.
Yeah, but I love that look from him because right now the goalkeeper has the sun in his eyes. It's really hard for him to see. So if Winder's able to get that shot on target, he's got a good chance at either having it go in the back of the net or having the keeper not be able to collect it cleanly. Just unfortunate that it hit off the defender, but I don't mind that shot.
Louisville still with it in the attack. On the near side, the right in the final third is Ray Serrano. Tries to dribble around Blackstock. Had it touched off of his feet for a moment. Plays back to McCabe. Cross into Lancaster. His header is wide. Lancaster was open just to the right of the penalty spot. A ball bending toward him off the right foot of Niall McCabe. Lancaster went up for the header uncontested, but it just sort of really went to his head more than his head went to the ball, and he couldn't direct the ball on frame. And it was wide by about 4 or 5 yards. A goal kick here to Pittsburgh.
And that's a really, really tough header to do with Lancaster coming out away from goal for the ball to be coming at him at a pretty high angle for him to be able to jump, turn, get his head on the ball and redirect it behind him onto the goal frame is very difficult. We have seen Lancaster do it before. It just doesn't get the right contact in that, but I like the link up there between McCabe and Lancaster.
15 minutes. Opening quarter of an hour has been played. Louisville City with 67% of the ball so far. Pittsburgh, like we've said, a defensive-minded club at this point, a defensive-minded organization under head coach Bob Lilly. This is their MO, particularly on the road. They have a throw here on the near side of the left, about 8 yards past the midfield stripe. It'll be Blackstock to take it, the left back, standing in front of his head coach Lilly. Throw comes in over the head of Dequa. It's headed away by McCabe. Picked up by Griffin in the midfield for Pittsburgh. Ibarra plays it wide right. Here's Rovira. Maybe a chance for Pittsburgh. Opportunity to cross. Rovira hits it with his right foot, and he overhit it. Well over everyone's head. It lands past the inline and bounces off of a bone-dry roofing advertising board out for a Louisville City goal kick.
It's a great ball out from Ibarra there to find Rovira. But it's just a really bad service there from Rovira out on the wing. He needed to either decide whether that was supposed to be a shot or a cross, because kind of one of those awkward balls between the two where it's ineffective at both. So a little Lou City fortunate there that it wasn't a stronger attack, but Pittsburgh's got to clean it up if they want to see if they can put one away on Lou City.
Louisville trying to build out of the back from the goal kick, but finally under pressure. Zimla sends it long. Kept in play on the far sideline by Mushagalusa. Back to Dia. Clipped it down the middle towards either Lancaster or Winder. Wasn't particularly on target. Headed back to Dia by a Pittsburgh defender. Then Dia goes down. It's a foul. Robbie Mertz commits the foul. The captain tonight for Pittsburgh. And it'll be a fifth-third free kick to Louisville City for the third time tonight in about the same spot. On the far side, the inside left of their defensive half, about 10 yards infield from that far sideline. Sharpie takes it on the ground to Niall McCabe, who's dropped deep. Of all the three midfielders, he's been the deepest tonight. Here he is once again in the center circle, McCabe, drifting to the left side, plays it there in the air to Dia on the far sideline in the attacking half. Dia under pressure from Mertz, goes back to Sharpie, who's wide open with time and space. Sharpie dribbling toward the center circle, plays it across the center circle to Tosh. Tosh touches it forward with his right foot, under some pressure from Dequa, sends it long down the middle. Lancaster will not chase it. It bounces into the hands of Zamudio, the goalkeeper, in his penalty area.
And there, just a little miscommunication between Tosh and Lancaster. Tosh was looking for that long ball. He doesn't really have another option because of the pressure that Dequa was giving him. So Lancaster needs to recognize that and make the run for him to be an option instead of just kind of standing up there waiting. If he's moving and making the run and being the option for Tosh, it might be another story.
Here comes Pittsburgh. Rovira in space on the right side. Drops off on the inside right to Griffin. Back to Rovira wide right, and Louisville has recovered defensively. Looked like an opening for a moment for Pittsburgh. Inside right is Griffin. Into the penalty area, just to the right of it. Now drifts out of it. Drops it off to Mertz outside of the box. Defended by Mushagalusa. Griffin a touch. Backward to Ordonez. Playing well into the attacking half. The center back. Wide right it goes to Griffin for Pittsburgh. The attack's still on here. He's drifting backward, though, as Mushagalusa did well defensively. He plays it all the way back into the defensive half to Hogan. He turns and plays it backward to the goalkeeper, Zamudio, and Louisville gets out of trouble here defensively a little bit. Great defensive shape. Long ball down the middle from Zamudio, looking for Dequa. So far, the flag stays down. Now it will go up. He was clearly offside, but as the referees are instructed, just waited for a moment to see if he would touch it. And when he finally made a play on the ball, Dequa, the flag went up. It's an offside call against Pittsburgh, resulting in a fifth-third free kick to Louisville City.
Yeah, Dequa not too happy for that. He thought he was able to time that run of coming back and then running through, but Louisville City did a great job of stepping quickly and stepping as a unit. So there was a really nice line for the assistant referee to be able to see down to make that call.
Louisville building out of the back from that fifth-third free kick. Again, Albert Dequa, he's going to be the danger man tonight for Pittsburgh in the midst of a career-best time for him. He scored 20 goals over the last 2 seasons. 11 last year, 9 this year, and he's coming back from a broken collarbone. Great long diagonal from Louisville City, chested down by Manny Perez. They're in the attacking half here. Perez dribbles infield just outside of the box. He's tripped up. It's a foul, and a fifth-third free kick in a terrific position for the boys in purple. About 8 yards outside of the box on the inside right, just between the D and the right edge of the penalty area for Pittsburgh. might be an opportunity to put one on frame here, Casey. What do you think?
I would probably say it's going to be more of a cross. This would be, if you're setting up for a shot, it's going to be a left-footed shot, but I don't think we have the player on the field right now capable of this shot. So I'm thinking you're going to see probably a service from Niall McCabe looking to connect with Sean Tosh or Cameron Lancaster inside that 18-yard box. Niall McCabe is so good at those cheeky little loft balls to the back post, and so I think that's what we're going to be looking for. Is going to look to play that ball in between the 6-yard box and the PK spot, right behind that back line, forcing the keeper to have to come out and make a decision.
Just past 20 minutes. Lancaster looked like he wanted it for a moment, then he drops off. It is going to be McCabe. Mogel also, there's an option, a 3-man wall. Mogel runs past it. It's going to be McCabe. Here's his ball in towards the penalty area, headed away by Albert Tiqua. Falls to Dia. Dia, long distance shot, and he pulled it well wide. Just drug it with his left foot low on the ground, and ultimately it was about 8 yards wide of the left post for Zamudio, the goalkeeper. Well defended free kick there by Pittsburgh, and it's out for a goal kick to the Riverhounds.
Well, I don't think Niall McCabe got the service that he wanted. He hit it a little bit too low. I don't think he was able to get underneath it and pick out his target on that, so a little disappointing there. But Amadou Dia has plenty of time on the ball, just completely pulls it wide. You can see immediately he put his hands to his face. He knew that was not at all what he wanted to do. So a little unfortunate there that Louisville City wasn't able to get a better look on target.
21 minutes into the game, 0-0 our score. Just 3 shots so far, all for Louisville City. A foul here, though, goes against Ray Serrano for the boys in purple. Gives Pittsburgh a free kick in their attacking half, the Louisville defensive half. On the inside left, about 10 yards past midfield, it'll be Mark Ibarra, the second-year pro out of Michigan. Played both of his seasons with Pittsburgh. He takes the free kick on the ground backward to the center back here, Pat Hogan. Just to the right of the center circle, plays it to the left of the center circle, Osamanu. Back to Hogan, just shy of the center circle. In the Pittsburgh defensive half, they work with it here. Arturo Ordonez with it. He plays it on the ground to the inside, in the middle of the field, looking for Danny Griffin, but he's defended well by Niall McCabe, who just deterred him off the ball, and Louisville City takes over as Mogel recovered possession. It's back to Tosh, back to the goalkeeper Zimla in the box. Now to McCabe, dropping off in the middle of the park. Now to the right side to Sean Tosh, defended closely by Etu. The Louisville City has looked very composed, very poised on the ball in the defensive half here, and some pressure from Pittsburgh. Mogel to Serrano, outside of the right foot, down the inside right channel, looking for the run forward of Perez. He can't catch up to it. Hogan the first to it. Zamudio, though, nearly gave it away. Lancaster was an inch away from winning the ball. It does fall to Ibarra for Pittsburgh. He plays it over the top for Etu to chase into the Louisville half. Etu will get onto it near the corner flag on the left side. Tosh there defending for Louisville City. Etu into the box. His cross headed away from the 6-yard box by Mogel. A long distance hit from Blackstock, and a terrific save from Oliver Zimla. Diving to his right. It came to Blackstock outside of the box on the inside left, and he hit it first time and hit it well with his right foot. A powerful shot, but Zimla, the stellar rookie goalkeeper for Louisville City, was equal to it, dove a little bit to his right and pawed it aside. It's going to be out for a Pittsburgh corner from the near side there left.
That's an incredible strike there from Blackstock, just first time, but really Zimla positions himself beautifully to be able to push that one to safety. It was kind of right at him, so he didn't have to do too much, but really good strike there from Blackstock, and Zimla coming up big when his team needs him. He hasn't been called on much this game.
Here's the corner from Mertz, an in-swinger off his right foot, punched out of the 6-yard box by Zimla. Still alive on the far side outside of the box, and finally